We're gonna talk about one of my greatest struggles, genre. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Latte Words, where we sip coffee and talk about words. So today I wanted to talk all about how to figure out your book's genre. As a writer, I've always had a problem with pinpointing exactly which genre and subgenre is perfect for each of my stories. And even though I felt like I understood the concept of genre, it was just difficult to put that into practice for my own writing. And I'm sure a lot of other writers have the same problems. Really, this video is best for writers who already know the basics of genre. It's more about what kind of methods you can use to figure out your own book's genre. And for me, it's been both fun and very challenging at the same time because I think my books are so personal to me that I think it's hard to wrangle them into just one general idea. And that's why I'm thankful for subgenres, because that way you have a little bit more specificity and specificity. I can speak English, I think. Anyway, subgenre is great for more specificity. Oh, I need more coffee. Okay, back to it. So here are 5 methods for figuring out your genre. Number 1 is pretty basic. Hang out in the bookstore. Make sure to buy some coffee, and then go just meander through the bookstore. Your local Waterstones or Barnes & Noble is great because they have the big signs with like biography and sci-fi and romance, and just kind of browse through each category. Look at the back covers, see which books kind of have similarities to your book, and maybe you notice that your story has a little bit more of a romantic subplot than you realized. Or maybe you're realizing that, hey, my character is very YA, and now that I'm reading these back covers, I'm seeing so many similarities to other YA fantasies, and maybe I need to switch from adult to YA or something like that. That was something that really helped me, and it also helped just kind of inspire me, because obviously you want to do that whole law of attraction thing where you imagine your book on the bookshelves and all of that fun stuff. And before I go on, for all of these tips, I would definitely suggest taking notes, because you might find a book or a story that is extremely similar to yours. You can usually find in the author's acknowledgments the name of their agent and even the editor within the publishing house that helped them, and all of that can kind of lead you in the direction of finding potentially a literary agent or a publisher that might also be interested in a comparable story. At the very least for this, it's almost a requirement now these days to have some comps listed in every single query that you do for both agents and publishers. They just like to see how you recognize your book within the greater world of literature. Number 2, scroll through MS Wishlist. I'm going to link it in the description below. This is basically my morning reading. Every morning with my first cup of coffee, first of many. I like to just scroll through, read what agents are looking for, and it's all taken from Twitter, so I think there is a little bit of a younger YA demographic here, but that still kind of helps you to get a sense of what certain agents are looking for, and editors as well. Another thing that you can do on MS Wishlist is along the side column, you can look at the different genres listed and tagged, and you can click on romance and see what agents consider to be both a romance plot and what they're looking for. The thing I love about MS Wishlist is it gets so specific. They ask for space pirates who maybe have a special background in forensics or something. It gets really specific, which sometimes can be a little frustrating because obviously that book is very unlikely to be R80 in your computer right now, but it's still fun to just see what agents really love. Number 3, so this is one that I have really been doing a lot of, especially during the global pandemic, being stuck at home. I've been looking through Netflix. I know all of you literary purists out there might kind of judge me for this, but really, it's such an interesting way to get an idea about different stories and their genres, because Netflix has this cool tag feature for each movie and TV show where it says like witty or suspenseful, and you can get a sense of what Netflix deems to be maybe sci-fi versus speculative, and you can then look at different stories and see how they compare to your own story, and also get more of those comps that you need. One thing I've noticed on MS Wishlist especially is they do a lot of requests for Netflix comps, especially like Black Mirror and what else is really popular right now? Bridgerton. Netflix is becoming more and more of that space for comps. Ooh, it's getting sunny! London is getting sunshine, finally! Pretty sure my skin is gonna burn from this. Number 4, talk to your characters. Grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and take your story past the fourth wall. Have a conversation with your characters. We're all doing this anyway, be real. We love to talk to our characters in our head, so why not ask them what they think about their own story? You might be surprised to realize that your character feels like they just came out of some sort of apocalyptic event and they're exhausted and drained, and you were thinking the whole time you were writing a YA romance. Number 5, grab another cuppa and sit down with yourself. Clear your mind and then ask yourself, what genre do you want to write in? And this is important because as much as it would be wonderful to be able to pick and choose genres depending on the book and let the story take you where it goes, a lot of the time, if you do land a literary agent, that agent only focuses on specific genres. So for example, if you write a sci-fi and you land a literary agent and a publishing deal within sci-fi, and then your next novel is historical romance, your agent may not be able to represent you for that book, your publisher may not even publish those types of books, and you might need to start all over again for that specific book. And that's totally okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do, of course, go for it. But in terms of making things, I guess, easier for yourself, sometimes it's good to kind of try to stick to one genre. And again, this is only my personal belief and everybody's different, and so many successful authors write in so many different genres. But I think just having that expectation that maybe you might not be caught in this genre forever, but you might find it difficult sometimes to get out of the first genre that you publish within. And you might need to kind of consider, is this a genre that I can see myself writing more books in, or is this a one-time deal? And if that's the case, maybe also consider, how can I stretch this book to make it possibly historical romance with a little bit of speculative on the side or something like that. So those are my 5 ways that I work on figuring out my book's genre. What do you think though? Do you have any suggestions for me? Could you let me know in the comments below? And as always, if you've gone this far into my video and you like what you're watching, please hit subscribe below and like to keep this whole thing running. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!